Oh, is my mic working? Hey, Miriam. Welcome in. Yes, it's time. So I got to start with a little maintenance here. An unfortunate part of the job is maintaining your tool. Favorite chisel is dull. Thanks for contributing the points to torturing me in Elden Ring. Let me know if my volume's low. I'm using a different mic today. I don't know if the mic is picking up me sharpening. This be good AMSR material. Gentle scraping. Mic is a bit low. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. Headset mic today. Okay, hopefully that's a bit better. I hope so. About all the volume I've got. Let's see. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got. I hope it's better. Okay, thank you, Miriam. How are you doing tonight? This is gonna be a weird view. Hopefully I don't kick the tripod a bunch. You've been waiting all day? Well, that's a lot of pressure, Miriam. Alright, you wanna see what I was up to? Ah, let's see. Started a sketch on watercolor paper. It's probably gonna be really hard to see. It's very light. Light. I sketch very lightly for watercolors. It should be easier to see. This one was like the inspiration for my sketch for the relief I'm gonna do. This one's easier to see. Kinda see. The wood should be easier to see. Let me see if I can get the camera down a little bit. Sorry, shaking the cam. Stop moving. Getting tripod. One of the legs on my tripod is like decided to get loose for some reason. Way easier to see than the paper. Yeah, the paper's very light. I might do it as a watercolor later. It's harder to see, but the the woodworking piece is like an adaptation of this sketch. It's weird. As I lowered the camera, my lighting got worse. See if I can bring the brightness back up a little dim for some reason. Okay, looking a little better. So, sample. There's another thing I had in progress. Different carving. This one's not quite finished, but pretty close. So I take these and I remove the negative space with a power tool, basically with a rotary saw. So I'll do that with this piece too, but later. I'm not going to do that on stream. It's extremely loud. But so the relief has a bit of like three-dimensionality to it. This future merch. You have no idea how much I would have to charge for this. It takes so long. These are long-term projects. All right, safety first. All right, so all of this exterior area is going to go away. I'm going to remove all of this with a power tool. I'm not going to I kind of trim close and then work down to the edges by hand. I'm going to start there. Safety first, though. It's a Kevlar glove. It prevents cutting because this shit is dangerous, okay? There's like safety rules here. I've got a rubber mat on the floor to catch my tools so I don't try and catch them if I drop them or if they roll off the table. Always work on a table, never holding the thing you're working on. Always have your hand protection so you don't cut the crap out of your hand like I've done one too many times. Hey, Tito. Welcome in. This one for a high price as a what if. Well, this one here, I think when I finish it up, I'm gonna give it to a as a gift to a couple of my friends who just got married. We'll see. One of my oldest friends in the world just got married. They just had a kid. So I'm gonna start at the edge here. Just start working away. Gotta make I gotta make some room along the edge to leave myself some room to work down. Yes, I was sharing my safety plans. Safety is a priority. If you're working with tools, you have to consider safety. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself, and that's no fun. Believe me, for a while I did this before I got the Kevlar glove, which is what this is. It's woven with Kevlar, so it's cut resistant. Um, I cut my hands a lot, like too many times. So I was one time I was in the specialty woodworking store that I shop at for like tools and supplies. And this woman was in there with her like teenage kid who's probably like, I don't know, probably like 12 or 13 maybe, and he wanted to try woodworking. And I was in there buying some tools, and she asked me, she's like, "Is this a safe thing? Is this a good idea for a teenager?" And I'm like, "Well, you would know better than me how responsible he is, but like, you gotta instill in him that safety is important." And I was like, "Yeah, first thing, get one of these. Start with cheap tools, see if he's into it. Make sure he knows safety first. That's another thing. You always gotta make sure you're wearing shoes, so if you drop a tool, it doesn't land on your bare foot. That's no fun." I think she decided to pass on buying him any tools after my talk about how dangerous this is. Hey Rose, welcome in. Yes, it's woodworking day today. My first ever art stream. I'm gonna create some room around the edge here so that I can work down. I'm breaking here. This is tricky because all the grain runs like this in this piece of wood. And like one of the things you have to get used to is you can't really cut across the grain. You can in certain circumstances. You can't cut directly across. You'll just splinter the wood most of the time. Cut at an angle, but not like directly across. It takes some practice. I'm just gonna say, these carvings are very long-term projects, so don't don't expect to see tons and tons of progress tonight. I'm gonna work as hard as I can, but don't expect it to look like this one. This is many hours of work, which I don't have tonight because I can only do this for about 3 hours at a time. Here's a tricky thing. As you work, you knock some parts off, and you got to keep redrawing in your edges so you know where you're at. Hey, Rage of Wrath, welcome in. I'm gonna try and keep this in front of the camera. This is a little. My positioning's a little weird. Normally, I don't have a camera to consider here. Hey, Wrath, how you doing tonight? Welcome in. I've been cajoled into doing an art stream here for first time ever. Been reluctant to share what I do because, well, I'm a bit of a hack. I'm not, you know, I don't know. Can't say I'm super confident in my work. If you're wondering what I'm carving on, yeah, this is just a small like table tray. And yeah, this is usually what I work on. I know it's a little weird, but it's at a comfortable level for me. And as you can see, I just like dug into the table and it's cheap and I don't care if I destroy it. Part of the reason I work on it. Working and lurking, almost done with the work part. Well, that's good. It's for stopping in. Shade the lurk. I don't have to work this all the way down. I just need some room around the edge to start carving down. You love working with wood? Thanks for streaming this. Oh, what kind of stuff do you like to do, Rose? Are you into carving as well? You know, saying Gravita was in the stream over the weekend and was saying they also like to do carving, and they hadn't done it in a while, and we're thinking about getting back into it. It's fun. Split that. Some people had stopped in. Here's my sketch. Hopefully the lighting is okay now. I think I brightened it up a little bit, increased the contrast, so ergonomics are really important with any craft. Indeed, you got to be comfortable. Pretty safe to say that you're likely the most informed person in the room on this topic. Probably. Probably. Um, so I make abstract art in wood, which is probably the world's oldest medium. I always found something strangely satisfying about making modern art in the world's oldest medium. Wood carvings were probably among the first things that people ever made, share with each other as works of art. This is what I'm talking about with drop a tool, don't catch it, let it fall on the rubber mat. The rubber mat, very useful, so Grandpa taught you to whittle, and Mom taught you about woods and sanding and finishing. Nice. I don't really whittle. That's a bit of a different art than just straight up carving. So, I mean, I do have like a whittling knife right here, but I don't use it to whittle. Like, I use it to cut edges um, so that I get nice clean lines, basically. But that's a cool thing to have passed on by your family. Ooh, that's quite a grain there. Interesting. Okay, already gone. This is a nice piece of basswood. Basswood is a very fine grained, soft wood that's nice for carving. Like this other piece is in pine, which pine is not a hardwood, but it's substantially harder than this. Working, yeah, I'm just a humble carpenter working my wood. The innuendos write themselves, guys. Very little work required. Oh, I forgot an important step here. I like to start with a photo right at the beginning, so I don't forget what it looked like at the start, just in case I erase some useful lines. I have some kind of reference. Losing. Yeah, I normally do that right before I start, and I forgot. Without any shame, too. Wild. Wild. Totally wild. Questions? Let me know. On the table here, I've got the two basic types of tools that you use in carving, a chisel, and then this is a gouge. And they come in lots of different varieties, of which I have a great many, probably too many. Probably, probably too many. So gouges come in lots of different widths and then also different amounts of curvature. And then, chisels have all different widths and angles to them for different uses. And then there's a whole set of curved things for working in recesses. Um, yeah, I probably have too many tools. I have too many tools. At the start here, I don't need very many. You used a pocket knife, so did you. What you're doing is fascinating to me. Well, I'm. This will sound really weird. So, I went to art school, but I had no experience with wood carving whatsoever. It was just something I wanted to try. So I bought some inexpensive tools, and I got a piece of wood, and I just went to work. And I've done a lot of sculpture and other mediums and clay, and I've done a lot of work in wire and assemblages of. Well, I used to live in Boston, and I would collect basically garbage off the street and turn it into sculptures. But I never did anything like this, and I just found it's the weirdest experience. I described it to my friends as like wood carving is like primal to me. I started doing it and I felt like I knew something about it even though nobody had taught me anything about it. And I've still never really I never took any lessons or got any advice from anybody. I've just picked up tools and went to town and found that I really enjoyed it. After doing it, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I come from a long line of masons or something. I, I just felt like I knew what I was doing with no instruction. Do some piecing for your quilt while I carve. Go for it, Tito. Make sure you share your quilts in the Discord. If anybody else wants to join the Discord and share your projects, go for it. Uh, exclamation point Discord and chat for a link. I don't have an art channel. I should add one. I have some channels for cooking and for people to share pictures of their pets and stuff, but should add an art one. I was mentioning safety before. You'll notice I always try and keep my hand, even though my hand is protected by the glove, you can still poke yourself and it hurts, even though if it may not cut you, but it'll still hurt. So I was trying to position my hand in a way that it's not in danger. Safety, safety. Did I ever have too many tools? I don't know. You know, I always buy them at the same store. And one time I was in there and they're like, I made a comment about I'm like, I wonder how much money I've spent in here on tools, and they're like, oh, we can actually tell you because I pay with a I go in there and pay with a credit card, or they ask for a phone number every time you go in, so they like have a whole record, and they're like, you want to like a running receipt, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know, I shouldn't have asked for the running receipt, dear God. Tools are expensive. do some of these carvings that are larger and like three-dimensional, like full standing sculptures. But I figured a relief would be easier to follow on stream. It's like easier for the camera, even though I'm kind of a little off cam, but let's see what I can do about that. Putting your knitting that you're learning in the Discord. Go for it, Miriam. I want to see it. I know I've heard you talking about the knitting recently. My grandmother, she didn't knit, she quilted and she crocheted all the time. Like literally all the time. And she taught me to crochet when I was a kid, but I don't remember how, but my sister took it up and my sister crochets all the time now. And to go with or against the grain. So Tito, you got to go. So I was saying, if you go against the grain, you're going to break the grain. So as much as possible, you need to go with the grain. You can cut in some, like if you take a particular angle of attack going against the grain, you can make it work. But most of the time, you're going to rip the grain and get a kind of jagged edge, like I did over here, because I went a little against the grain. So that's part of the trick of this is trying to find ways you can carve what you're trying to do while staying in the grain. Sometimes you can't avoid going against the grain, and kind of got to learn how to work around it. That was unfortunate. Okay, one little corner here, and then it's time to start thinking about levels here. And what I like to do is like basically take my. Hey, Marzen, welcome in. Guys, hello. Welcome in, Raiders. Marzen, what did you get up to tonight? Thanks for bringing your community in. We're doing a little art stream tonight. I don't normally do this. This is my first time doing an art stream. Tito, could you help me out and get a shout out for Marzen? As my hands are full. Mama Vana, hello, welcome in. Oh, thank you, Tito. Subnautica today. It was so much fun. Oh, more Subnautica. Yeah, you were playing that the other day when you came in with the raid. Marzen, if you got a raid and run, of course, feel free to do that. Uh, take care of your post stream stuff. Get up, stretch, get some water. Raiders, welcome in. If you don't know me, you'll normally find me playing ESO or some Elden Ring lately, but today it's a change of pace day. I got persuaded to do an art stream. I'm it's one of my hobbies is doing wood carvings. I heard a Lady Riot come in. Lady Riot, welcome in. I don't I've been reluctant to show off any of my work, but here we are today. It's gonna snap. Quick hi bye from Mama Bunny. Yeah, it's gonna be late for you, right? Oh, I bumped the camera. My bad, guys. Have a good sleep, Mama Bunny. It's nice to see you. Oh, I missed pausing the ads too. Boo. Marzen, I don't know if you can hear me, but this is a piece of basswood. Basswood is specifically a very soft, fine-grained wood that's mainly used for carving. So I also do some carvings in pine. Okay, I've got a little edge. Still need some work. Hmm. Small margins I'm gonna leave for a moment. All right, I've got a little room to work. Thank you, Tito. Okay, now it's I gotta think out what what depth do these things need to do each of these areas need to be at? Like the highest thing is the spot right here. And then this spot behind it. Let's it's probably also on the highest level. Bring this down lower here and have this be high up here. I'm still trying to decide if I want this to be these pieces here to just be straight cut throughs. I haven't decided yet, meaning I just completely remove them with my rotary saw. Oh, got the turbo. Turbo is handy. I really need to get that. Okay. Here's where my whittling knife comes into play here. It's like a weird trick, but like to cut edges. Now this part's tricky. I gotta like start a little light. But basically I'm gonna start here and I wanna like carve leave this area at like the top level and kind of carve this down so it runs behind this shape here. Gotta come down quite a bit because this should be lower than this shape here. So there's a lot of removing to do right in this area and also here. Actually, maybe I'll start in. That's why I do this in my dining room. Makes it easy to clean up. I just sweep up afterwards. Hey, Mr. Assassin, welcome in. And welcome back from the ads, folks. Actually, I like to cut a little inside the lines of the area I want to remove. So what I'm doing here is it can be really hard to get a sharp edge, and a lot of what I do is very angular, right? It's a like I really like to get sharp edges in here. So using the whittling knife to basically create an edge makes it a lot easier to dig in recesses and get nice sharp edges, which is really what I'm looking for. Do love working your wood. Yeah, the innuendos write themselves tonight. I'm leaning into it. Giggity. Oh, dang. I'm so excited to watch you play with your wood. Hey, Storm. Welcome in. Sangravita, hey, hey. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, I'm getting up to something different tonight. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, feel free to ask. Right now, I've just gotten started. Gonna start removing some area at the lowest points right now. I'm creating some edges to work within for myself here. Things a bit easier. Right. Currently doing the dinner thing. Well, I hope you're having something good. I was trying to be quick about dinner and just made a chicken quesadilla. And having tortillas in your fridge is handy if you want something quick to eat. Okay. So Tito is asking, work with the grain or against it. It's easier to work against the grain. The more severe your gouge is, like the greater the depth of the gouge, it becomes much easier to work against the grain, which I'm doing right now. Miriam had the day off. Ooh, nice, very nice. Was that a quest? No, I think that was Ripley who just walked by. Quest is hanging out in the other room. You may get a cat glimpse, maybe. If one of them decides they want some lap time, maybe I'll tilt the camera and you can get some cat close up time, more than just the top of the head that you see on other streams. Got quite a bit of depth to work with on this board, so it can work in pretty far here. Been waiting all day for this. Yeah, Miriam was my hype man for the stream, telling everybody to come in here and watch. Here's where things get weird. Uh, this curved one is specifically for getting into recesses, but it becomes a lot harder to make headway. Would I explain my inspiration for this woodworking? Do you mean like what's my drawing about? All right, I'll let you like get a look at it. Um, my process is unusual in that when I start a drawing, I don't have anything in mind. My um my my head is completely empty when I start a piece, and I draw one line, and then whatever the next line is, it's just a response to what I've done previously. So whatever you see or however you interpret it, it's entirely open to interpretation. Um, I may see things emerge from it, but it's organic to me. It just grows. There's no there's no overall goal when I get started. It just becomes what it is. It's a very artist thing to say. Was that a quest? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Ripley has been braver on camera lately. He has been a hound. He has been a hound when I've been streaming. He's figured out, like our Lady Riot said, that I'm a captive audience when I'm sitting there with the camera on and I can't go anywhere, and he's just like, hold me every 10 minutes. Mr. Assassin, I hope my answer was adequate. And overall, I just like making abstract art. That's kind of my thing. I haven't made any representational art in a really long time. So apparently I don't remember agreeing to draw Shiva in in Miriam's stream, but that was never gonna happen. Not that I'm incapable. I used to be quite good at drawing realistic things. It's just not what I'm into. I think you'll get some cat sightings. They're both very interested in me being in here at the moment. They're all swarming around. I said I would draw hands. I mean, I'll throw hands. I can draw hands, but no, I'm not doing that. You'll accept the woodworking, though. I'm glad, because, that was the option. Maybe I'll do, I had a sketch that I used as kind of the basis for this carving that's already on some watercolor stock, so I may turn it into a watercolor. It'd be an interesting thing because it's very similar to how this turned out, to like have it as a comparison. To be honest, you kind of zoned out, but think if it's okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's what it's like. Believe me, I went to art school. Believe me, I know what it's like listening to artists explain what they're up to. Usually it's a bunch of nonsense, if I can be honest. Oh, hey, it's Bet. Hopping in for progress. Oh, thanks. It's nice to see you. Thanks for the lurk. I was lurking in your stream yesterday and ended up double watching Tack, I believe. See you later, Mr. Assassin. Have a good evening. I'm sure this isn't riveting action. I told you this is a slow process, guys. Let me back to that in a bit. I've made some progress. Tricky part, trying to draw a curve with a knife across the grain is quite a project. Difficult. Tight there, but it'll work. Concerned about my cute little pinky around that blade. Nah, my pinky's fine. It's this hand that's in danger, Storm. The hand you're holding your tools with is fine. It's the hand not holding the tools that's in danger. You're really trusting the cut guard glove for when the chisel slips? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Sangravita. Like, this is essential. This glove is everything. Um, and yeah, it happens. Like, your tool's gonna slip and hit yourself in the hand. I try to avoid it, but like you really can't in some instances, which is why like I would never do this without this. It's like the most essential thing for carving. Ever read Art School Confidential comic book? It's an amazingly accurate satire of what art school is like. No, I've never read that, but I should make note to check that out because I would probably enjoy it. Man, art school is a trip. And it's not even just the students' fault. The teachers, it's like they're trying to get you to spew bullshit. I don't know. Yeah, don't be worried about the pinky. The pinky is there actually to just kind of stabilize my hand. It's not in any danger. Yeah, what I'm doing right here, I wouldn't recommend. You really don't want to do this. I'm only doing this right now because I'm cutting into a spot where I've already cut, so I know it's gonna, like, the risk of it slipping away is pretty low because it's just gonna get to the corner and pop like like that, so I don't have to apply very much pressure. Otherwise, you really shouldn't be moving into your hand with the chisel. Like you can see, most of the time I'm trying to move away from my hand, not into it, but just hold tools in both hands, easy. No, My left hand is not very useful for many things, to be honest. Understood. Now more anxious. Like to put anti-slip mat under the piece I'm carving. Adds a little more stability. Um, yeah, I have one of those. I also sometimes grab one. I like working with this little table because I can just take a clamp and just clamp it in place too so it doesn't move. I do that sometimes, but I have a tendency to just rotate the thing constantly. But the clamp is pretty handy sometimes. Yeah, so now it's basically just stuck in place. Um, hey, Red, welcome in. How you doing tonight? Um, it's wood carving night tonight. First art stream. I don't know about many talents. I mean, a handful of talents, perhaps. I don't even know if this is one of them. All right, see, this is one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, I don't need the clamp. I need to go both directions. For sure, you need to rotate it often to get the right angle. Yeah, like I have I have a workbench down in my basement. I'm not filming down there because, well, the lighting just isn't very good down there. Um, and I have to work standing up the whole time, which I don't love, to be honest. It hurts my back more. Like there's a lot of hunching over for this, and it's less hunching over when I'm sitting at this table than it is like standing up and bending over. Red, while you're here, please don't DDoS me, man. Don't do it. Keep your packets to yourself. Malicious packets. This is going to be a running joke for you forever, I feel. You're just going to be joking about how you're a real hacker. Watch out, guys. Want to sell packets? You're milking this forever? Yeah. No one is safe from Red's DDoS packets. Okay. Now that I've done that, I can start to think about this whole level down here. It's got to come down a little. This has got to come down. Maybe I'll start a lot of little pieces to work at here. So, I have this particular style that I work in, and when I do things as like a two-dimensional drawing, it's kind of intended to be um perspective, like have a confusing perspective. It's supposed to be ambiguous the way things are layered, but as a carving, it actually needs to exist in space and like make functional sense. So like I don't necessarily know how everything is going to stack up until I'm in the midst of it, which is where I'm at now. That's where I'm at. I got a little work to do here. Jemmer, hey, welcome in. Hacks, hacks, hacks. Looks for merch next week. Wait, are you gonna make DDoS merch? Like, or or are you talking about me selling merch, me selling art? Red, I could sell one of these like every other month. You have no idea how long. I don't, I'm like, here's another one that was in progress, right? This isn't even that large. You don't want to know how long something like this takes me. Don't expect to see a ton of progress tonight, guys. This might be a. But if you guys enjoy the stream, maybe Wednesday woodworking will be a regular thing. But selling merch, no, I don't think that's going to be a thing. You guys will have to get on a waiting list. This isn't that large. I don't know what happened to add quote. I have add quote turned on in Streamlabs and it's just like not doing anything. I have to look into that. It should be working, but it's not. Make people bid. No one's gonna bid, Miriam. You're putting too much confidence into this. No, I'm content to just make a few pieces and give them away to people that I like. That other piece is a gift for a couple of friends of mine. Whenever I finish one of these days. I've been on the waiting list for a while. So I was cutting this edge because it makes it easier to stay within the lines and get a nice clean edge. Kind of important to making my work pop. It's clean edges, which is actually a weird thing to see in woodworking or carvings. Usually, whittling has lots of soft edges and is kind of indistinct in some ways. People would, you never know. Joe Tam, welcome in. Hey, this is a classic jam right here. Oh, then there's a secret on the back. Veronica says her power is out, so can't be here. Oh, that's too bad. That's no fun. Rarely have that problem. Particularly live downtown in the city that I live in. Power is not really out very often. Except that one time last year where it's the first time I'd lost power in years and my power went out for like 12 hours and all the food in my fridge and freezer went bad. That was fun. I hope the camera angle from the side is okay with you guys. I couldn't figure out a way to effectively set the camera up to be like over the shoulder view. So this view is going to have to do. I'm so distraught, Miriam. Incredibly distraught. How are you communicating with her? I'm confused. Wait, I'm not considering that people in Canada get limited mobile data. Not really a thing here. The zebras are a real pain in the ass. I need a chisel. Hey, Fems, welcome in tonight. Yeah, we're up to something a little different tonight. Getting there. And I make this really difficult for myself with these little tiny shapes. I really don't want to break out the micro tools. Discord on her phone. Wild that USA has unlimited. Yeah, it's unlimited to a point. They say unlimited, and then when you use too much, they just throttle you. And it's almost as if you have no data. But it is a lot of data until you get to that point. I thought it was wild that you guys didn't have unlimited data. I only know that because I did a bunch of work for Rogers in Canada, and also TELUS, I think. That's why I had the occasion to be in Toronto several times, was doing work for Rogers. Don't break out the micro. Keep your pants on. Hey, whoa now. Okay, I walked right into that one. the, the innuendos and the euphemisms write themselves tonight, guys. Being for real, should either film this or stream it more and upload somewhere as ASMR. If you can zoom in more or something. I don't know. I might see if I can actually use my SLR to get better quality video. I've never tried using it um, for video. It should be able to do it, but I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if people are actually interested and want to watch, like, I'll do this on Wednesdays. I could use, if I make this a regular thing on Wednesdays, it gives me motivation to keep doing it instead of taking long breaks between working on these projects. Keep me working more regularly. Do you have a tendency to work in spurts? Where I'll have a couple of weeks where I'm like really at it, and then I take a break, and then I don't come back to it for a month, and unlimited mobile data. Yeah, that's not a common thing here at all. Yeah, that's just like pretty standard here now. Though, like I said, it's unlimited to a point, which isn't really unlimited at all. I think as an ASMR thing, yeah, maybe people would watch this. If I had a, I'm wearing I'm using the headset mic tonight because I couldn't think of a good way to, I don't have like a boom for my mic or any way to like position my actual microphone in any usable way. So it's just a headset mic tonight. And I'm sure you're not actually hearing any carving noises going on. Not a very sensitive mic. Appreciate the encouragement, Miriam. Sometimes it's nice to hear. Corners are a pain in the ass. Why do I draw like this? Plus side is, all right, I've got this. Once I get this out, I've got this shape here that comes next. And once I've got these layers removed, I can just come in with a chisel and just do a straight around, and it becomes much easier as you work up. A little funny in that way. The upper levels just like glide right off as long as you've got what's below them already gone. I kind of have to do it this way, because otherwise I will lose track of what I've drawn. Can't just take huge areas off because I will have to like redraw everything back in, and it will never be quite the same. Oh god, I gotta do it. Ugh. Too many tools. Way too many tools. Gotta use the right tool for the job. Good enough for the moment. This is gonna be complicated. Making this difficult on myself. Don't follow my example right there is literally just using my thumb to guide the knife right there. That's terrible practice. Don't do that. That was horrible. My bad. I'm gonna have to come back in for that shape later. It's where my photo reference comes in handy for later. Common problem here. Always have too many tools piling up. Seen some videos of people doing carvings, even more intricate than this, and they use like 3 tools to do it, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't get it. I don't, I don't understand how you do that. How does that work exactly? I'll worry about interior a little later. So much patience. This is a thing that requires patience for sure, Tito. Little by little, if you try to move too fast, you'll break something, you'll make a mistake. And not that mistakes don't happen, like you kind of have to accept that that's a possibility, and then you just have to work with them. Also, you're working with a piece of wood, which, though, this is a nice piece of wood and it's very consistent, but that doesn't mean it couldn't have an imperfection in there that will fuck your carving up at some point. Like, you gotta, as much as it's patience, you also gotta be like willing to adapt sometimes. It's dull. Sorry, moment of maintenance. Bastard. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Stone is just eating oil. so dull. So dull. Alright, that's a tricky one. Gouge, so you have to like rotate the blade, try to hold it at a particular angle as you sharpen. It's unpleasant ASMR right here. Squeaky. These stones go from rougher, coarser to finer progressively for honing the edge. This is just getting the outer edge, and then there's no easy way to sharpen the inner on a stone like this. So I use a strop, which I've got over there. Strop is like a piece of leather just to hone an edge. This is hardcore. Well, you have to learn to maintain your tools. Otherwise, you won't be able to use them for very long. I oil over. 1 second. Sing. Sharpening compound here. This is each of these different ridges for different size and shape gouges and other tools. Shaped tools. This is for sharpening the inner edge. Honing it at the very least. See, this should be better shape now. Yeah, you gotta maintain your stuff or you'll get nowhere. Let's see if I made any difference at all. Yeah, a little better. A little out of practice at sharpening the gouges. A chisel is very easy to sharpen. Gouges, especially this one that's like has this weird curve to it, much more difficult. Spot is being particularly difficult. Jesus. Getting into real focus face mode at this point. I guess I'm not super used to having a conversation with people also while doing this. Normally a very quiet sort of contemplative time for me when I do these things. It's just me sitting here with my thoughts and my patience. Hey China, welcome in. Yeah, it's a unusual stream day. It's craft day. The view at my sketch for the relief that I'm working on. I just started it today. Long way to go. The sharpest tools like this are, you tend to get more cuts from sharp corners of wood than from tools when woodworking. I do get that occasionally, every once in a while. Yeah, these tools are sharp and dangerous, that is for sure. I need to take a couple of mine that I'm not very good at sharpening that have dulled out, and actually one of my chisels I dropped and it didn't hit the rubber mat and it's kind of got like a slightly damaged tip. I gotta take it into the shop and have them completely resurface the thing. I don't have a grinder to do that with. So as deep as I'm taking this down right now, it's probably gonna go even deeper. Like this is kind of a first pass, and I'm gonna start lowering little bit by layer by layer, and then as I go, I'm gonna realize, oh, well, I've got to take this down even farther to accommodate dropping this level down and this level down, and it's a process, but I've got lots of width to work with, so I would expect when I'm done, like the lowest levels will probably be as thick as this particular tool is at the lowest point. Not too worried right now about smooth surfaces. I'm just trying to rough this out at the moment. Angle it all. I'm like, I'm doing what Sangravita was worried about. You know, going right into my hand, relying on the glove. Not good practice. Sometimes, especially if you're not you're still just roughing things out, just getting under a piece and turning the chisel and or turning your tool and just popping it up. It's fine. It's fine just to get it out of the way, especially early on. And I'm cutting across the grain, so that's going to happen anyway. West, what are you getting into? Hey, well, why are you interested in that? Go away. Entirely too interested in my computer's power supply. Get the hell out of here. My prettiest attempt here. I was about to go like this. Ugh, yeah, that's no. Whenever you're about to put a bunch of pressure on, think about where the blade might slip to.
It's getting hot in here. Is it just me?
Hey, Minty, welcome in. Nice to see you. How you doing tonight? Uh, arrived at a super captivating stream, I'm sure. it's, it's very chill here tonight as I just quietly work my wood, you know. That's the running joke of the night. All right, that should do now. Yeah, it's my pencil in a terrible spot. Ooh. One thing, like, cut a spot out that's got some extra detail that I bring it down a level. I always got to remind myself to just sketch it back in so I don't forget. Same thing's going to happen here as I have to bring this down a whole level and round this because this should be a bit of a sphere here. Just bring a bit more. Oh, welcome back from the ads, guys. We had a few of Miriam's regulars stop in. I think it's because Miriam was hyping me up all week. deserve the hype. I don't know about that. I don't know. Trying. Take this down. Nice thing here is because I've already carved out these sides and I've cut my edges. Just take a chisel and take this whole thing down a layer and it should be just fine. To get the detail back in there. In this case, I'm just going to use a shallow gauge here, or gouge. It's all down a little bit of depth. It's afraid of happens. It happens. Just a little slip. Okay, that was going to come down anyway. True art. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a bit washed up these days. I, I was jokingly calling myself a hack. It's not that far off. But I appreciate the hype. Now, encouragement is helpful. Encouragement is helpful for everybody. All right. Looking a little rough. Looking a little rough, but it's all right. I know what I'm getting at. I'm going to sharpen the edges up a little bit. Malady, hello. Come in. You've made it in time for the art stream. I think I've got maybe, let's see, I've been at it an hour and a half. I think maybe I got another hour and a half in me. I should have started with this on. Helps my wrist not wear out quite so quickly. I usually only go at this for about 3, maybe 4 hours, and then my hand is very tired. Malady, how are you doing tonight? Give you a view of my sketch that I'm in the middle of carving down. We have a long way to go. Okay. I want this to run in a slope that comes down lower than the level of this piece, but it also has to be above this. Gotta come down more. Sometimes at the edge of a cut, just using the chisel to press down is the easiest way to end it without making a mess. Really weird edge going on here. I like cut it with the knife, but I didn't quite get to it. Splitting going on. So I gotta start establishing these sharp edges so that they hold up throughout the layers. Start it with too much slope from the very beginning. Things just don't end up working out right. Much better. As mentioned, it's like this should have a kind of spherical shape to it, but that's a thing I can work in later. Right now, I'm just trying to get down to rough levels as they should be. Quest has got the zoomies. He's running around like a madman. He can still get around. Him and Quest and Ripley turned 14 this month. Man, my teenagers. Sheesh. Such old, distinguished gentlemen, I know, right? They really are. They're senior cats at this point. So weird. It's hard to believe I had them for 14 years. It's crazy. I mean, this is the age where some cats, even well cared for indoor cats, start dropping off around this age, but still seem very very healthy. They'll be around quite a bit longer. Indoor cats are weird. Some will pass at 13 or 14, and then other ones live past 20. So it's like, who knows? Who knows? We're always somewhere in the 9 to 10 year old. Ooh, excuse me. 9 to 10, getting up there, getting up there. Glad the kitty is healthy. Yeah, they're Ripley's overweight, but he's always been overweight. He's a chunky boy. It's very hard when you have multiple cats to try and like manage the weight of just one of them. Because if you've seen Quest is a tiny little boy, and then Ripley's a big fatty, and I don't know what I try. I don't know. It's very very difficult. Ripley is a sweet baby. He's consistent. Yeah. What's funny is when I got them, they're brothers. They're from the same litter, and when I went to pick some cats from this litter while they were still being fostered, I picked Quest right away because he was just like, you guys never really get to see Quest, but Quest is like a gorgeous cat. He isn't like he just has a beautiful coat. And I picked him right away, and he was one of the bigger kittens, and Ripley was the runt of the litter, and he's undoubtedly the biggest cat that came out of that litter. he's a he's a chunk. Funny how that works out. Okay, I've got enough depth here for the moment. That's more what I'm looking for, is nice sharp edges. They still need a little refinement, but we're getting there. How's the new puppy doing, Storm? Any luck getting them to calm down yet? Sister has one obese cat and one tiny cat. She made a custom food bin for the tiny cat. Has an electronic cat door that only opens for his microchip. That's pretty cool. Pretty dope setup. Had it for almost a year now, and her big cat on an auto feeder, as well with diet food. The cat hasn't dropped an ounce, and he doesn't get treats. She's given up. Sometimes they're just chunky. Yeah. What do you do? I mean, that's real dedication to come up with that kind of solution, though. Like she really tried. She clearly really tried. She decided that today she will chew the carpet and been struggling to get her to stop. Oh no. Yeah, my my two cats love like I would replace my carpet in my living room as my cats have destroyed it, but they would just destroy the next one, I fear. It's kind of, I gotta like tear it out and replace it with hardwood or something. They've spent years going to town on that carpet. Just can't stop them. They have scratching posts all over the place. There's several of them. Nope. Doesn't make a difference. Spring this down a little bit more. Just a little funky here. So many wood chips on the floor. Such as wood carving. At least the cats don't care about the wood chips. Like I've always feared they'd come in here and decide they're a toy and like spread them all over the house, but they don't. They don't care, which is nice. So it made me think of time with my previous cat. I was actually I was cleaning up some old drawings, some like old charcoal sketches that I had done. I was just going through a big pile of them, and I was making a pile of things to just throw away. I was keeping some, throwing away a bunch of them. Just these big sheets of charcoal sketches. And I was making a pile, and the cat starts diving. Oh, thank you, Storm. The cat starts diving through all these sketches, this big pile of paper, and he thinks it's great. And me and my girlfriend are laughing at it. And then a couple minutes later, he's an orange cat. He was an orange tabby, and he comes out and he's completely gray. We're like, oh no, mistakes were made. He's just covered in charcoal. We're like, welp, it's bath time now. Why use a scratching post when there's perfectly good carpet? Yeah, right. 1000%. All right, drinking plenty of water. Hey, Veronica. Oh, I'm glad to hear your power is back. How you doing tonight? Veronica, it's underway. Or I'll let you get a look at the sketch. I'm making some progress. You know, this takes a while. I'm just gonna say. I'm working on this area over here. I was gonna. I've carved away some of the edge, like all this negative space. After off stream, I'll use my rotary saw and remove it. I kind of like to take my reliefs and turn them into more trimmed things, like this one here. Where I'm like, I trim away the negative space and then work inside of that. So I'll do that with this piece too, off stream. How often? Not often enough. I go through spurts where I'll work a lot on something and then I get distracted and I don't work for several months at a time sometimes. It's not great. I should do more. I was saying if people enjoy the carving stream, maybe I'll make working on this a regular, a regular thing on Wednesdays. When Wednesday woodworking. It would give me a reason to be more consistent with working. 97%. Good lord. Veronica bringing the humble today. Depth in. Oh, I don't know where my very thin gouge went. Oh, this edge is really. Thought I was gonna carve spoons. Uh, what gave you the impression I was gonna carve spoons? just, just out of curiosity. When did I indicate that I carve spoons? I don't believe that's a thing I do or have ever considered. Gotta clean this edge up. It's really spoons are cool for a giveaway. I don't really carve functional things. This is along the track of me saying I don't make representational art. I don't carve functional things. I carve nonsense, if you can't tell. Man, I really got weird with the edge here. I would would love a lumpy wooden spoon. I don't know about that, Storm. Carve a gargoyle? Oh, I mean, I probably could. I do also carve some larger three-dimensional things. I thought the relief would be better on camera for the stream. Also, the only piece of stock I had was an absolutely gigantic piece of wood, and I'm like, this is a big freaking project. And I mean, it was like Piece of wood's probably like 2 feet tall. It's big. I don't know what I was thinking even buying it. Four-foot gargoyle. I don't have a chainsaw. Do you see the scale I'm working with here? Bedtime for you. Thanks, Angravita. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good rest. Sure, we'll catch you this weekend. Angravita, if you got any pictures of your stuff, share it in the Discord. And hop in the Discord if you want. Exclamation point Discord for a link. Share your projects. I haven't added an art channel or arts and crafts, but I should. I'll add it to my to-do list. Disky? What's that, Storm? Oh. Disky? Discord. Just Discord. Nice to see you, Tito. Have a good evening. Now there's no hog, Veronica. That's a you deal. Oh, actually, Tito pinned the Discord link if you guys want to join. To make picture frames out of wine corks, but then you realized your parents were alcoholics. my One of my friends makes bongs out of liquor bottles, and he's always like, "Hey, you got any liquor bottles around?" He knows who to ask. I, all right, come here. Where is the couch? Too sharp. Oh, I hope dinner turned out well, Rose. Progress is slow going. These things take me a really long time. Making a little progress. It'll look like a lot of progress if I come here next week and I've cut around the whole outside. It'll look like a whole different deal. It'll actually look like I've done something. And I cannot get this corner cut. No, even if we're showing hog. Whoa, Tito, get out of here. I'm not trying to get banned up in here. Ate so much pineapple. Well, you know me, Veronica. I'm a fruit hater, but I hope your pineapple was good. I won't, I won't bring up your questions about pineapple from last night for Miriam. And I have no comment. I don't know. Don't ask me. Made a poke bowl. Sounds good. I was trying to make sure I started on time tonight and just made a quick quesadilla for dinner. Tool did not land on my rubber mat, but it didn't land tip down, so good. It's probably not broken. Graham helps with your lady help. Well, glad to hear you're supporting each other. Graham's probably lurking and knitting from the sound of it. Wonder if she walked. I don't know. She could show herself by coming in here and using her custom command, which is never gonna make me never. I'm never gonna stop laughing at. This corner is a pain in the ass. Why do I draw like this? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I like sharp corners so much? I'm like a sim. Oh, that was a Sims joke, guys. Making comments about the Sims loving corners. Oh man, fuck that whole edge up. Times you make mistakes and you just gotta work around them. That was a bit much. Oh, that was a little much. Ooh, a little aggressive. Aggressive. Work it back. Walking it back a bit. Oh boy. Okay. Oh yeah, little aggressive. A little aggressive. Still rough. I'm roughing out my layers here for the relief. I've got an idea of where these things are stacking up. No, no, it's okay. It's all right. This is still very early on, Veronica. This is all gonna. I've got a lot of width to work with, a lot of depth to work with here. So this is all gonna this is all gonna go much deeper than it already is. It's a process. And sometimes you make, during this you make mistakes and you got to live with them. You just got to work with them, got to work around them. I just need I'm not going to be able to get this edge with the rotary saw. It's too small. I'm going to have to work this by hand. Couple of classes you want to take in town? What kind of classes? Uh, Adult education stuff is good, positive for everybody, right? Oh, I kicked the tripod. Sorry, guys. Silversmithing, floral arrangement, and 8-week pottery intensive. The pottery class is always fun. I think that's an interesting one for just about anybody to take. Using a pottery wheel is a fun time. As long as you can figure it out. I took that class once, and some people are just not like. Some people will just never get the hang of the pottery wheel. It just will never click, and they just can't get anything going with it. It's kind of funny. Gotta come down. This chisel, this gouge needs a sharpening. It's dulling on me. Highly meditative and a test of patience. Yeah, Tito was watching me do this and was like, so much patience. And yeah, it really is. Gotta be patient. This tool's dulling out on me. Needs the honing. Gotta clean the strop. Nothing but compound on it. Cleaning. Think it's good for the mind? I think so too. Patience is a thing a lot of people struggle with, and I think the people who struggle most with it don't even realize they struggle with it. Well, I hope that helped because I really don't want to go to the stones. I'm of course doing it to myself. This downward motion where I'm cutting edges is exactly what's dulling the crap out of the couch. But, you know, it works. It has been a lot of Hutterites. I'm not familiar with that. Mennonites here. I wish they taught a seamstress class. That could see that's a thing that's just like useful, right? Learning to be a seamstress. Taught yourself how to sew. I That seems like a thing that would be difficult to teach yourself how to do. I gotta take this inset here down a bit more. And afford the Renfest costuming and fell in love with it. Yeah, I would imagine that stuff gets pricey. Any of that cosplay stuff, right, is can get pretty expensive, especially if you're buying something else somebody else is making, right? I don't know. It's never really been my scene. I've been to one Ren fair and that was like 25 years ago. Too many tools in the pile up. Too many tools. So some things that stuff you want help with. I don't know anything about sewing. The I can sew a button on. That's about it. that's that's the extent of my sewing experience. Had a lot of really bad things you sewed too. Well, you gotta work your way up, right? Like anything, I'm sure it takes practice. Are you make stays similar to corsets? They aren't as simple, and you need help. Or um I would imagine. I wonder what kind of like I wonder what kind of like content around that. Like there must be a lot of like cosplay related creation content on YouTube, I would bet. People getting into the detail of how they make crazy things. Like YouTube's got a community for just about everything. I said I'd finish in 3 hours. like another 40 minutes on the timer, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go an extra hour. My hand's not feeling too bad. Not too bad. Made your entire Renfest garbs and do all sorts of cosplays now. That's pretty cool. Soft toys and dolls. Dye and spin fiber for the yarn. Wow, you're like getting really down to the nitty gritty of it as respect stuff like this. It's way out of your comfort zone. The chiseling, yeah. Well, you said you have some experience with like whittling, right? Yeah, it's quite different. See, like the whittling stuff. I don't know. I tried I tried to whittle something and failed miserably. This is this is more my speed. I don't know why. And yeah, this is like I said, no one taught me how to do this. I just decided one day I always wanted to try it. I had some disposable income, you know. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy some tools, I'll buy a piece of wood and see how it goes, and just fell in love with it. As I went, I just developed more and more techniques for myself. Like my techniques are really like about how I can get the results that I want to see. They may not be best practices for everything. If you wanted to carve something, like I'm sure this straight down cutting that I'm doing is like not a thing you would see other people do, and I only do it because I'm obsessed with sharp edges. Like I really need the sharp edges for like what I'm doing to pop. Don't necessarily want cosplay. You just want functional clothing. Made your cosplays as functional as possible so the kids could dress up year round. I bet the kids love it. Go a lot deeper yet. This area is supposed to have some steps too. Kind of cut over. Oof, that was a chunk. Go. Oh, as a I'm like mixing you up with someone earlier in the stream who was mentioning whittling. Just jump in and try something. That's the way to do it. The way to do it. I was saying earlier, like I went to art school and studied sculpture, and I have a lot of experience sculpting in lots of different mediums, but never carving anything. I don't know. There's something when I started carving, I just felt like I already knew something about it that no one taught me. Like I had some instinctual knowledge of like the correct way to do things that I never experienced before. And it's unrelated to anything having to do with sculpting anything else. Clay certainly doesn't work like carving a block of wood. Never carved a block of stone. That seems insane. Oh, did you spot a cat, Veronica? They have been running around. I think people have gotten a peek or two at them. I'm getting to the point where my back starts hurting. Ordered a new sectional, and you need to take these couches to the dump. And we have a Tahoe. Um, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. Every place I get furniture from, like you can always just get them to take your old stuff away for a fee. Got up sewed and burn your old wedding dresses once. That was cathartic. Oh, okay. Didn't want to go to art school. Was afraid of being told I wasn't. You were doing it wrong, and like they did in writing school. Um, I don't think art schools really like that. I mean, it depends where you go. I went to mass art, where kind of just let you do whatever. I was literally a pass-fail school. I took one writing class while I was there, and I always liked creative writing. Got this like creative writing story or assignment to write a short story about a character we know, like someone we know who's a character. And I wrote this short story about a friend of it's based on a friend of mine who's a really funny guy, but he was going through a tough time in his life. He was having like a tough time with his girlfriend, and the whole story was about the this basically like the story. The only comments that my teacher gave me in the margins of the story when she gave it back to me, she just wrote in the margins, "This is weird," and then later on she's like, "This is really weird." And then her last comment was, "This was incredibly off-putting." I'm like, "Wow, okay." Like, the whole story was about how his ex-girlfriend had called him up to make fun of him for having a small dick. she, she didn't appreciate my story. I'm gonna say she didn't think it was as funny. But yeah, the story was just my friend on a rant about how his ex girlfriend was the devil, which was based entirely on a true story. Wow, what the fuck? Uh, your degrees in creative writing, and it was not like that. I don't know. I think when you go to an art school, the people who teach the other classes are like cast-offs, right? You gotta assume you gotta you gotta assume it's not the highest quality of teachers outside the art departments. That was the impression I got. Unfortunate. Hey, Zach, welcome in. How you doing? Zach, I'm making art. There's or you can take a look at my sketch for my relief that I'm working on. I've only so far. I'm working on this little area here. Wood carvings take a long time, guys. This is, you know, it takes a while. Oh, you're late. No worries. Oh, we've got ads in progress. Zach, how you doing tonight? How did BG3 go last night? No, I often just lurk during the BG3 streams as I'm still behind. Trying it's weird to try and not get spoilers for a game that's been out this long, but here I am. Still alive? Just got home from the grocery store. Yeah, it's fun out there, huh? How much do eggs cost where you live? I went grocery shopping yesterday. They were still uh 6.25 for a dozen eggs. How am I not I I was doing good on my run and then I like always I got distracted and I haven't played in a bit. I was cruising right along. It's actually playing quite a bit and then yeah, it always happens. I get distracted. One day I'll make it to Act 2. One day. One of these days. Of course, now I have new games. Play. I may be doomed. Also, I'm really into my Elden Ring playthrough. Alright, I gotta... I'm gonna have to carve this by hand here. There's no way I'm gonna get this with the rotary saw. It's two. If you get the organic free range ones, it's like $5.75 at Trader Joe's. The local farm fresh eggs are $10, which is insane. That's crazy. Yeah, it's funny. The like grocery store where I am, the grocery store brand ones are like 6.50, but the Homeland's Best cage-free eggs are 6.25. I don't know. Explain that one to me. Which are the eggs I normally buy? Yeah, so Tack, here's my sketch, right? And then here's like another one that I had in progress. So I tend to take all the negative space and cut it away with a saw, and then I kind of rough it out and then work down the edges by hand. So I end up with something that's more like three-dimensional but is still a relief. So after off stream, I'll take out the saw and get rid of the edges here around the all of this negative space. Very abstract. Yeah, that's my deal. I don't make representational art. I just make abstract nonsense. Someone came in and asked me to explain what my goal was with the carving. I gave the most pretentious artist answer about it. It's so bad. Was it to carve it? No, I was saying, like, I was explaining, where he was asking what my process was with it, and I'm like, as far as the drawing goes, I never go in with any plan at all when I'm drawing something. I'm just like, my mind is completely blank, and I have no perceived, like, preconceived notions about what the drawing is going to be or what it will look like. I just start drawing, and it all just kind of develops organically. I draw one line, and then everything I draw afterwards is just a response to what I draw earlier. I have no plan. and I just end up somewhere. Like driving without directions. Empty brain? This tracks? Hey, now, hey, rude. Accurate. Accurate. I don't really. When it comes to other things, I have a plan. Not this, though. Sometimes things I didn't intend emerge. I had no plan drawing this one or carving this one, and then it turned into a bird. I don't know. I don't know if you guys see the bird beak, the eye, and feathers down the back, or its talons, and it's clutching an egg. But I didn't intend to draw that. It just happened. It just happened that way. So the bird, you saw the bird right away. I didn't intend to draw a bird. It just became a bird by coincidence. So sometimes nothing more specific emerges, at least that I see. Though people tell me they see lots of different things in my work, and that's fine. It's all very open to interpretation. I enjoy the interpretation. That was a little that was a little much. Do I whittle as well? No, I don't. I don't whittle at all. I don't understand how whittling works. I've tried. I've tried, but no, I don't whittle. Whittling is whittling is somehow a very different thing. I don't know how people do it. How did I get into wood carving? So I went to art school and I studied sculpting and I've sculpted in all kinds of different mediums, but I've always been interested in wood carving and have collected lots of wood carvings over the years, but never did it myself. And then one day, where I used to work, there's a specialty woodworking store right in the area. And one day at lunch, I just went in there and looked, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy some inexpensive tools and a piece of wood, and I'm gonna try this out. And I just fell in love with it instantly. There was something I was saying earlier. There's something primal I felt about it as soon as I started doing it. Like I understood how to do it, even though no one taught me anything. It's a weird experience. Favorite wood to work with. So this is a piece of basswood. Basswood is a very fine grain, very soft wood that's primarily just used for carving. Um, this is a piece of white pine, which pine isn't a very hard wood, but this is much harder to work with. It's substantially harder than this. I don't know how people carve things like mahogany. I think my hand would just die. I think they must use just power tools because I really don't understand how you would do it. Oh, And that was lucky. That one landed tool tipped down, but it landed on the rubber mat. Thank you, rubber mat. Oh, I had a couple of tools fall on the ground here. Recovery time. Too many things stacked up. Yeah, for me, as far as like ease of use, I think I would just choose basswood, which is generally what you will find for specialty wood carving purposes. It's just so much easier to work with. And the very fine grain means you can carve greater detail in it. This hard on myself here. I should have left a wider margin, that I could have just gone at it with the power saw. I readjusted my hand there. It's like the glove is to protect me from slips, right? So I don't cut myself. It's a Kevlar glove. And then I'm like holding like this, and I'm like, yeah, if I slip, I'm gonna stab myself in the arm, stab myself right in the wrist. Stitches. Wouldn't be the first time. These tools are dangerous. I started the stream with a quick safety review. Like, okay, work on a table. Never hold it in your hand or in your lap and work. Wear a glove. Wear shoes so if you drop a tool, it doesn't go directly into your foot. If you drop a tool, don't ever try and catch it. Actually, that's just good advice in general. Any type of tool. If you drop a tool, just let it hit the ground. Don't try and catch it. Basswood is Eastern North America, right? I feel like you've seen it around here. I'm actually not sure, Tack. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up. This is why whittling is wild to you, because they just whittle anywhere. Yeah, and they're holding a knife and they hold it in their hand, and most of the time they're just like bare hand. It's like, how do you not just cut yourself over and over and over again? I mean, they must have butchered their hands, to be honest. I really don't get how they do it. I learned very early on, like I did before I had the Kevlar glove. I was just wearing some like thick work gloves, and I slipped and went right through the glove into my finger, and like really deeply cut my finger. And I didn't end up. I probably should have gotten stitches, but didn't. And my finger did not bend right for like 6 months. Like it was not great. I learned my lesson. There was there was another time where I got really into something I was doing, and I was holding it. I was carving over my leg, and I slipped and jabbed myself in the leg with a chisel. That was a good one. Now I strictly adhere to the carve on a table rule. Okay, just roughing it out, thin it out. Getting a general shape here. Ripley, what are you up to? Wait for my computer. Okay. I said I was going to go 3 hours because that's generally about how long I can go before my hand is like, all right, I need a rest. And I was like, maybe I'll go an hour later, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to my 3 hour timeline here. Otherwise, I'll be paying for it tomorrow. Playlist is no right being this good. Hey, what do you mean? The playlist is always pretty good. It's all right. It's my favorite Deer Tick song. You want a Ripley visit? Ripley, come here. Ripley. I don't know if he'll. He's being shy now. Normally he's like, hey, pet me all the time. Not interested in our shit. It's not 3 hours yet, but well, nope. I got like 15 minutes or so. Then I'll wrap up and find someone to raid off to. Who's on right now, Tech? I'm in a weird position where my computer is like in front of me and I can read it, but I can't really reach it. it's it's a it's a weird spot, this setup. I don't know. It's the best I could come up with. Wish my laptop was newer, so I had to move my PC to do this, and I'm not a fan of that. I would really like to find a way to do this regularly and not have to like shuffle my whole setup around because it's annoying. Not a fan. Red, Nadia, King Kuro. Okay. Maybe Red was in here earlier. Maybe we'll go visit the hacker. I'll harass him about his rogue packets. He was very funny last night. It's for your protection. Okay, we're gonna keep this at 8. That's that's criminal. Wait. It's all in good fun. Uh, okay, to back in. I carve away. I keep erasing details. Especially this whole design here and this part. Bring this down. That's why I took a reference picture before. Well, at the start of carving that I could refer back to in case I like carve out lines and I forget about them. to bring that edge down. S- 'Oh, yeah, not that's criminal. That criminal, yes. What a cad. I really do suspect he was just swept up in a dragnet. That's honestly my guess. They were just banning a whole subnet that was because someone on it was up to no good, and it had nothing to do with him at all. Companies do that all the time because they're lazy. 100%. Yeah, that's definitely my guess. My back has had enough of hunching over. Today, I think it's not the hand, it's the back that's like, no, 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 no. I honestly can't figure out a better way to work, though. I don't know. Standing up isn't any better, it's actually worse. Either way, you gotta hunch over. Almost there. I don't know why I do this to myself, drawing these incredibly sharp corners. Make it so difficult. Couple minutes left before I get out of here, guys. Stick around. We'll go raid over to the criminal. Watch out for the DDoS when we get over there. At least want to finish this one little corner before I wrap up here. Guys, what do you think? Should I do this regularly on Wednesday? Woodworking Wednesday? At the very least, you get the jokes will just write themselves every Wednesday. You're in for it. So I was saying, I might do it as a regular Wednesday thing at an extra stream, and it would be a good way for me to encourage myself to, to do it more often instead of taking long hiatuses to actually try and finish some pieces. So I'll stick to working on this one on stream. I have I have several that are like close to done that I really need to finish, but streams I'll keep working on this one so people can see my progress. Good. All right. Some work to do. All that time, hours of work, and all I accomplished was this. That would be great. Okay, Rose. Thanks for the input. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Let's get the raid going here. You take any other stream day or just stream a fourth day? I think I'll just stream a fourth day. Gotten pretty used to the Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Well, now that I think about it, so I have a regular thing that I do with a couple of my friends. We go out and get food and drinks. So we had been doing it on Thursdays, but my friend has hockey season on Thursdays starting up. So we might switch to Mondays. So maybe I will be trading this for the Monday stream, but we'll see how schedules look. I gotta go out and keep my sanity. One of my friends is near the edge. He's near the edge. We gotta get him out and get some drinks in him sometime and talk him down off the ledge. Oh. All right, guys, stick around. Let's go over and say hi to Red. I'm sure Red is playing some Elder Scrolls, probably playing some ESO. A lot of time for streaming plus other in real life stuff. Yeah, I don't know how people do like streams 4 or 5 or more days a week. Even not just the time for other things in life, but like I like run out of social energy. I'm like, I don't know. I struggle with 3. Yeah, for real. Actually, after Saturday and Sunday, by Monday when I'm doing the stream, a lot of the times I'm just like I'm out of social energy. Like halfway through the stream, I'm like, ugh. Oh, give me a second. Make sure I spell this correct. I don't know how I can misspell it, but here we go. It's a lot. Like if you're not like a super social person, like streaming takes the energy out of you. That's for sure. All right, we're gonna go see Red. Have a good night, everybody. Mainly from working and stuff. Thanks for hanging out, as I appreciate it. I appreciate the encouragement, guys. There's the raid messages. If you got a sub, use the top one. If not, use the bottom one. Go over and see red. Life is exhausting. Can barely type in chat most of the time. That's fair, China. I get it. I get it. Well, I'm like, having some social interaction through this is nice too. But yeah, I run out of energy, and I'm a generally introverted person, so this can be a lot. You too, China. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you guys later. Let's raid over now. Have a good night. I'll see you guys Saturday. Saturday. Or I don't know what. We'll see. All right. The attack. All right. Have a good night, guys.